Okay, this is DragonofEternity and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ. In the last video, I was part of a lecture, and I got news that the Eorzean Alliance is planning to go into Garlemald proper, and we've been tasked with going with them. Ooh. So, as I hit scroll lock, it would help if I was tabbed into the game and hit scroll lock and turn around. I gotta talk to Maxima. It's a shame Gaius isn't coming with us. Best of the best. You get something. Maxima would have you meet your new travelling companions. Oh boy. The other members of the Ilsabard contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you're ready. Oh boy. Who's it gonna be? Who do I need to click on? My god, there's a ton of people here. Resistance Guard. There we go. The remaining member of the Scions. Or remaining members of the Scions. Your friends and most of the Ilsabard contingent await you within. Would you like me to see you through? Sure, why not? Right, let's see who the team members are. Any minute now. As soon as it finishes loading. You know, I thought... Never mind. I thought things would be quicker since I got DirectX 11 working again.
By the 12.
But I guess it's just loading times. Right, this is voice, so I can shut up. If I can hit the bloody mute button.
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsabard contingent.
Indeed, which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades, yourselves included.
Lucia!
I have come at the behest of Lord Emmerich, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention. Might I ask you to speak first?
If I must, I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation, here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer. We shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild. with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort. Of course, with an experienced white mage such as yourself accompanying us as well, those requiring more involved treatment will be in safe hands. Raya O sends her regards, by the way.
Oh yeah, I leveled white mage. We're gonna have some job references.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sicard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten. Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hillfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughing stock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship.
Wait, was that the guy that got shot by the Admiral in 4.4? 5.4 even? Yeah, I think it was. Oh god. You have got yourself a love interest. I need to get you home safely. If you die, I riot. And so does your potential girlfriend.
So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but a promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do. Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. Then again, so are we. The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Ala Mhigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Tarapin and I will be leading from the front.
Okay, I need to get you home as well. You're shipped to the Sultana. They're the same age, don't worry, they're in the 20s.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield. From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya, the avatar of destruction. With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilzabad contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require.
Lise, you might want to cover up for this part of the world. Just putting it out there. We don't want glass cutters sticking out.
The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature together with the smiths of Limpsa Lomitsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Lord Emanolain! Ah, yes. Emanolain de Forton, at your service. Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that. But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
What the fuck do I say to that? May your graceful prancing lead the way to victory. I dare say your fancy footwork may be all that stands between us and certain doom. For the prancing!
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honohua with my tales of daring-do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea. Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various Eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
Out of my way, you preening fool!
Oh, hell yes! Yes, it's lot! We have little son!
Forgive us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Cyrena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as a step is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Radz-at-han, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Warriors of the Steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities, which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Ala Mhigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald. And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused. Not only in Ala Mhigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people, no different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius bloody Balesar himself is working to help rebuild Whirlit, a nation he once conquered. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy. To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garland Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses devices that can interfere with airship navigational systems, further discouraging an airborne approach.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us. So, it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Oh boy. We've got many people here with us. Some I fear, because we're going into the bloody capital of all places. I know he said of all people. Right, now as soon as it loads, I need to change a couple of volume settings, because I feel like the music was a bit too loud there. Oh shit, there's a lot of people. Okay. That would probably explain a bit. Yeah, let's bring you down to 70. That might help the voices. Tell you what, we'll bring performance down to 75. BGM down to 50, 60? Aye, 60. If I can hit the bloody number. 50 it is. Alright, who we got? Let's start with Little Son. With the Ball, champions of the Nadam, and the Doffal, having sent so many here, I had fought to defend a step in their absence. And I would have done if not for my step-brothers. They urged me to grant our allies the sun's might, that his radiance might deliver them unto victory. For I must tolerate the presence of this feral Defarley dog, as first among my brothers, I could do no less than accept this challenge. My deeds will become stuff of legends. Is it wrong to say that I ship you two? God knows there's enough manga of it. I care not for the Iron Men or their troubles. It is the destiny of the weak to die in ignominy. Even so, I will do as I have agreed. I volunteer to join this band at Serena's request, and if she thinks it's a worthy cause, that is reason enough. Oh, is that a friendship? Though we hail from different tribes, our bond has grown strong of late. She is much better company on a hunt than any of the steps oafish men could ever dream to be. Oh no, is this a new ship? Are you going to be cooked again, little son? I need to stop shipping characters. I'm glad to see you well. My Arachne grandmother was worried for you. The night I agreed to come hither and join the contingent, the god sent her a strange dream. 2 suns, one burning red, the other frozen black. Closer they circled, closer and closer. As they danced, the world fell into ruin. In blinding chaos, she spied black silhouettes, and knew at once that one was yours. Yet she knew not how to interpret this dream, save as a sign that greater danger awaits. But whatever lies ahead, I will walk with you, traveller. Traveller indeed. Well, stick. Allow me to express my deepest gratitude for your role in liberating Bosnia. Me and my countrymen owe you more than we can ever hope to repay. Now that our dream has finally been realised, Balsaljan has seen fit to send a few of us to join this expeditionary force. I hope our skills will be of use. I hope it will. God, we got a lot of people to talk to. Albrecht! Sup, Dragoon? Let me have a look at you. A touch nervous to enter the battlefield, perhaps. Well, I shall be out there alongside you as a temple knight, serving with your fine van. For I may not look it, I was the Azure Dragoon once upon a time, so you can rest assured I will give it all that I have in the coming fight. I certainly won't be showing up by you or Estinian. That's a death flag. Right, Machinist, how you doing? Well, if it isn't my Arachne, it is thanks in no small part to you, like the manufactory's future is looking brighter than ever, my friend. I am pleased to report that I and a handful of my colleagues have been selected to join the contingent. Ere the expedition has ended, even the Temple Knights will be singing our machinist's praises, once they have borne witness to not only our mechanical proficiency, but our combat prowess too, of course. Good for you. Right, now for the other little son. Imana Lane. Well, well, if I'd known what a social gathering this would turn out to be, I'd have dressed for the occasion. Still, this seems the perfect opportunity to mingle with the other guests. Would I be corrupt? Probably. Would I be correct in assuming those ladies over yonder are Serene and Sadu of the Steppe? Perhaps I should introduce myself, though I don't much like the look of that fellow with the enormous axe. Oh, trust me, him and you have a lot more in common than you think. Right, Maxima! I cast my lot with the Popularis to bridge the divide between Garlemald and her territories, that all may be united in common cause. But we were disparaged as a radical element, dissenters looking to destabilize the Empire from within. Many friends and even my parents perished in unfortunate accidents. I too would surely have met the same fate had I not defected. Nevertheless, I still dream of equality and peace for us all. As the world itself stands on the brink of collapse, I hold out hope that one day that dream will become reality. I hope so too. I'm so glad I found you. I have a letter for you from Master Hammon. Oh, you're the monk girl, or the pugilist girl. Or the pugilist guy. I don't know your gender, I apologise. Let's read it together, shall we? Now let's see. I have every confidence that your fish shall bring the Tlothroi to their knees, and should you espy any beautiful maidens thereabouts, perhaps sing to them my praises. Charming, Master. Well, more fool me for thinking that letter would contain something actually inspiring. Let's just forget this note exists and focus on the battle ahead. Ah, that pervy old pugilist. Lise! It seems so long we were sailing across the Ruby Sea and charging about the Azam Steppe with Serena and the others. I think I still have part of that playthrough up. I never finished it, but part of it's still up on YouTube. I dare say we're overdue for another adventure. Yay! It brings back so many memories to see so many familiar faces. We've been through so much together, good times and not so good. I expect Garlemald will be mostly the latter, but I'd like to believe we'll look back on those days more fondly in the years to come. But for that to happen, we'll have to make it out of this alive. Don't you die on me, aye? You either, hun. Kokobuchi, or Kokobuki. It's one of the Coco Bros. We came as quickly as we could. We would follow your example and devastate the Tlothroi with the full extent of our powers. You go, Firmitage. Worry not for your brothers, Busi. We will return soon enough. Oh, you left the You left the brother with no magic behind again? Pippin! Often his father told me of the struggles faced by Ala Mhigo in the days of the occupation, and I too have crossed swords with the Empire on many occasions. Though Garlemald has long been our bitter enemy, Her Grace has elected to bolster the Ilsbard contingent with members of the Immortal Flames. As representatives of the Sultanate, we are one in our commitment to the cause. Until the Empire fell, Garleans were the only ones we was allowed to impose tariffs upon the sea. Weren't easy pickings, but I made myself a pretty gill. Since they've been so generous to me and mine, perhaps it's time I returned the favour and gave a little something back. I'm here representing the Marauders Guild. It's my job to keep the Smiths out of harm's way. Mind you, with them hammers of theirs, they can put up a fair fight themselves. With a bit of luck, this'll be over and done before you know it. Maybe when this is all over, you could pay the Axemaster a visit. He still tells all the new recruits about the time you killed Kujita and avenged that boy's parents. I remember it like it was yesterday. Hang on, is that the blacksmith guy? Can I talk to you? No. Yeah, well. Let's see. Alcazolka. Greetings, my master. The time has come for us Marines to show our valor upon the battlefield. All who see us will know of our name and quake before our might. To victory, come hells or high water. I need to get you back for your love interest. Arun's Tenor, you're part of the White Mage. In case you're wondering, Ashiva will be staying behind to defend the Twelveswood with my sisters. She was of the opinion she would make a useful addition to our contingent, and was eager to make good on her vow to accompany me as well, which was flattering, but ultimately it was decided that her skills would be better, but to use keeping our homeland safe, I am of course obligated to share her every detail when I return. Good luck, buddy. I don't remember who you are. Are you part of the Bard quest line? I can't lie to you, Mariashna, I wasn't entirely for this thing when Sanson spoke to me, but if it means being your brother in arms, then who am I to pettifog? I shouldn't be so hard on him, I suppose. The Bard unit is quite impressive, really. Yes, one must give credit where credit is due, rather than for one to do otherwise, after all. Sanson. Hello. Now, prowess has finally been recognized by the Order of the Twin Adder. Naturally, Guy Delot is also there helping us. While his ability as a bard is unmatched, I do worry about his judgment. However, you need not. I shall be keeping a close eye on him, I promise. Alright. Am I done with all the bloody NPCs? No, I've still got the bloody main cast. Alphino! We've been part of joint military operations like this before, and with far greater numbers. But for some reason, this feels very different to our previous experiences. There's a lot more people to talk to. Despite having shared little more than introductions, this is already a palpable sense of camaraderie. Okay, that was just 2 lines. I did not expect to see the other former Asher Dragoon here of all places. As he well knows, I'm not one for both greetings. We shall instead let our lancers do the talking. That sounds sexual. Once we are on the battlefield, then we'll see if the other has been diligent in his training. Gratia, this is extraordinary. To be in such company, the finest our allies have to offer. With combats such as these, we are bound to succeed. I'm certain of it. Don't jinx it. Let's see. I was half expecting to find the man who taught me red magic amongst our number, but he's nowhere to be seen. I suppose he's had his share of unpleasant experiences with the Empire, but so have we all. Perhaps there's some other reason. Well, in any case, I have a feeling I'll see him once again once this is all over. I'm sure he'll be pleasantly surprised by how much my swordplay has improved since we last met. Uber danger. Oh, Banquet, I guess. I have close ties with the scouts of the Eastern Alliance and the various resistance groups, and they're an absolute joy to work with. Alright, that's just one bit of dialogue from you. Blessed are we to have made countless steadfast allies over our journey's course. Indeed, we are joined today by many new acquaintances, who in time shall we come to call our comrades and mayhap friends. Alright. Did I talk to Lucia? I've led troops into battle many a time, but never a unit with such a diverse range of talents. Whilst I've been briefed on their capabilities, I expect you could provide additional insight into their strengths and weaknesses. I'd appreciate any advice you may have. Alright, Ishola. Finally. Besides the delegates assembled here, the Amalja and several other beast tribes offered to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climate of Ilsabard. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Telophoroi. All things considered, they can better aid the cause by bolstering our defences in Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding scales to our comrades. Care to do the honours? Excuse me. Okay, only about 5 people. Okay, okie dokie. We heard it would be cold in Golemald, so we came prepared, except for Sadu. Right, warding scales, these enchanted talismans, or should that be talismen? Hey, pronouns. Or plural. Would probably require considerably less time and effort to produce if the alchemists of the Great Work were not so preoccupied with making them look so pretty. Okay. Oh, the talismans. We ought to keep them close at all times, yes? I will see that no one misplaces theirs. Oh, and before I forget, I have a message from Hien. In distant lands and times of strife, together stand, together flight. In darkness shines the light of life. I hope I have done his words justice. Doma, much like Offord, has been plagued by the towers. Yet while he could not be here, he wished to express his shared conviction. Hien and Yugiri labour without rest to unite the people, and with their aid will we keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe and the Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. Well, I'm running out of breath here. Arun Senna, yes. Take your damn warding scales. So these are the famed warding scales, enough for me and my men, I see. I myself am especially grateful for this opportunity to visit distant lands. I wish to follow in the footsteps of Master Atoa, and learn all there is to learn of this star we call home. Indeed, this is the primary reason I volunteered to join the expedition. To journey outside the Twelveswood, much less enter into Imperial territory, is a rare privilege afforded a Pajal. Not that I'm tagging along to see the sights. The Garleans would benefit from my healing magic, as would our comrades should fighting break out. Okie dokie. Sickard. Oh yeah, you got something for us. Yes, these scales. Ah, them scales everyone's been talking about. Pretty little things, ain't they? Reckon they'll be worth a gill or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. You are not selling those fuckers. And one more thing. I know what you're all thinking. Why didn't they send Ainzar instead? Ooh. Bugger if I know. All the Admiral and Captain Hrelfer told me was they needed someone to help safeguard the future, and here I am. Can't say they haven't got a sense of humour. Of course, some of you might be wondering what good a pirate is on dry land, in the middle of the salt and snow of all places. Well, me and me crew will do whatever needs doing. So let's set sail, or however the saying goes on our ships. Alright. Time for lease. That a one scale I spy? Not that I would know what they look like. Sure, sure. Wow, look at these. Even a layman like me can tell they're bursting with ether. All the better to fend off the tempering waves. Is that the right term? Anyway, these will give us one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Golemald. Mostly snow. Only one way to find out, eh? And if so not, I'd march through all 7 hells to give me a chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. And finally Lucia. Warding scales for the Ishgardian delegation, I take it. Someone's gonna lose these, aren't they? Oh no. Well, we do have proxies. Many thanks, these talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in the battles to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray into Golemald, sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard, only to throw in my lot with those secrets I was supposed to be stealing. And now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betrayed. But that is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Emmerich. He would have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large, I will lead us to victory. There is still no end in sight for this quest. Do you have a warning scale for me too? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Click. Thank you for this, and for going to such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Though I have little to offer in return, I would impart some advice, if I may. You have been told by many to wear the cold of Ilsbod, and I cannot stress enough that this is no token warning. I will be distributing many, or specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemist Guild, but understand that they are no proper substitute for proper protection. I leave the provisioning of said protection to your discretion. Now let us proceed to the Ala Mhigo quarter. While you make your final preparations, I will have the pilots ready the airships. It's a cutscene time. Can I finally give my voice a break? Please. Please. I guess I'm waiting for something to happen. Oh, there we go. Okay, party check. Or at least what party I can see. Ishtola. It's something of a constant refrain that we require warmer clothing. My present garb may be lacking, fair colour notwithstanding. Concoctions to fortify the flesh against wind and cold, thus commonly sold in the Uldan markets, for they are of dubious provenance and efficiency. 'Tis said, however, that in the recent days the Alchemist Guild have produced a tincture capable of such a feat. Mayhap the achievements of their Fevnerian counterparts did stir them to action. Let they not be put to shame. This coat is quite warm, but I have something rather thicker for occasions like these. There's no telling how long we'll be out in the open, and we can't go starting fires willy-nilly if we want to avoid detection. Alright, Alice. If you've anything you still need to take care of, you better see to it now. Grahart here. Since my revival, I've been lax in expanding my limited wardrobe. Think we have time for a quick trip back to Old Charlie. I recall a rather fetching coat. Preparations, I've got my armor and my lance. What more could I need? And finally, Alpha now. This is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. You needn't worry about Urianger and I. We still have what we've worn Garlemald before. Asinian claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spends a fair bit of time up north recently as well, I have no reason to doubt his words. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided you're not overly concerned with style. Not to put too fine a point in it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats. If only I had time to find something to my liking. This would be the point where Tataru comes in. Hark! Is that the cry of scions in need of a tailor I hear? No way. No fucking way. But how? Why, I have my ways, oh yes indeed. But you thought you could sneak off to Ilsbod without telling me? Ha! Nothing escapes my notice. Are we going to be taking her airship? Are we going to take the Bonanza? Now you will wear these garments I made for you, whether you like it or not. Oh, is that what the present box in the quest is? You never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit as well? Oh, wait, are you coming with us? Is she? What? No, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion. Rather, the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creations if I've never worn them myself? Oh, so you finally get a new outfit change. I did have one other thing to share. I don't know how to say those bloody words. I don't know how to say those names. Ergmus and Bluemweeder have finally returned from assignments in faraway lands. They'll be staying at the Rising Stones for a while to keep an eye on events throughout Eorzea. Since they'll be running things back at headquarters, I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Charlene. Oh, why not? You can keep Kral company in the Baldessian Annex. Yes, we'd love to have you there, and I heard Ergmus and Bluemweeder did a fine job carrying on in our stead while we were laying comatose. With them in charge of the Rising Stones, we've got nothing to worry about. I'd say otherwise. My foot exactly. Also, I'm confident that you won't go collapsing again, because since someone who shall remain nameless isn't in a position to transport your souls to another world, if anything similarly disastrous were to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I've got a few things to take care of, and then I'll make my way to Charlene. I really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Garlemald. It's not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you, other than pray for your safe return, which I will, every day. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Alright, so 4 people are getting an outfit change. Or technically 6, or 7 including me. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. North Sea coat. Oh, that'd be super cute to wear. I'm tempted. It does cover the arms. Dear Lord, that took me 42 minutes. Oof. Big oof. Should I wear this? Cast glamour. Oh, I don't have the other coat out with me, do I? Where'd I put it? Oh, that is cute. But I feel, at the same time, I feel like I should also get the other glam back. God, I have no idea where these guys are loading in. Ah, there she is. Well, I guess they're all off, unless they've yet to zoom or zone in. A frosty reception. Okay, that's Garlemald proper. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut this here. I'm going to get a bit of transmog back. And then, I guess I'll be going to Garlemald. Fun times ahead. So, this has been DragonofEternity going through more Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ. In this video, I met the team that's going to Garlemald, and Tataru has come to help us out with clothing. So I guess next time, I'll be going to Garlemald proper. So with that plan now, viewers, with my rambling hopefully now finally done, until next time.